What's up, everyone? It's Janessa here from Simply Eloped, and I'm here for your tip of the week. This week, we're talking about 7 tips on how to include your kids in your elopement. How adorable! Here at Simply Eloped, we have a ton of blended families that come together, or kids that are taking on a new mom or dad. That's a really big event in their lives, and therefore, it's worth noting when you hold your elopement ceremony. So here are my top 7 tips on how to do that. Number 7, ring bearer or flower girl. So this is pretty good for kids between the ages of 2 to 7. And if they are on the 2 end, just make sure that ring is securely attached. These are pretty traditional elements of a wedding, and you might think, well, I don't have an aisle at my elopement. Well, you'd be surprised. A lot of our outdoor venue sites actually do have kind of a faux aisle, and if you do choose to bring flowers for your flower girl, just make sure that you're either picking them up or that you have permission. Number 6, invite your children to say something from the heart at your ceremony. Hopefully support. It's nice for them to have a moment in your ceremony to come and express how they're feeling about this. I would definitely have a conversation prior with your kid about what they intend to say and if they even want to, but it might be a really nice and memorable moment for your kids to express their encouragement and excitement about this family coming together. That brings us to number 5, which is kind of the flip side. I think it's really an amazing moment in your ceremony to make a proclamation to your kids of commitment to them. Bringing in someone new into the immediate family unit can be a really big change for them. And a moment in the ceremony where you're looking at your kids and committing to them, to be dedicated to them as this family dynamic is changing, can be a really beautiful and memorable moment for your kids. Number 4, ring warming. This is one of my personal favorite family traditions in any wedding. The tradition is that after the officiant blesses the rings, he hands them to the family members and they all make a statement or even just an internal prayer while they hold your rings. I love it, and I really encourage it for your kids and family members that are attending your ceremony. Number 3, hand fasting as a family. So it's a pretty common wedding tradition to do hand fasting as a couple, where your hands are literally bound together with a ribbon or a rope. What a beautiful thing to include your kids in that hand fasting. Do you have your own ideas about hand fasting? I advise you bring those to your officiant. Otherwise, make your own tradition. Leave a comment down below about some of your favorite traditions. Maybe I've never heard of them, and I want to know. Number 2, include your kids in your portrait session. If you book a ceremony with Simply Eloped, our photography packages include 1 hour, which is generally 15-20 minutes of your ceremony, leaving 40 to 45 minutes of a portrait session after your elopement. It's a really lovely thing to include your kids in that. These photos are gonna last you the rest of your life, and it's definitely capturing a moment in time. So be sure to include your kids and maybe just play around as a family and capture that. It's a happy moment. Number 1, make the destination about your kids and your elopement. How fun and memorable for your kids that not only did they attend your elopement, but then they got to go to Disney World or a water park or surfing lessons as a family. If you do something that's kid-centric and focused on them while the elopement is focused on you, that can really be a memorable and special trip for your kids and something that you're gonna remember forever. Those are my 7 tips on how to include your kids in your elopement. I hope you'll love them. Be sure to smash subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you here next week for my tip of the week.